Hello, I'm Randy Swallow. Welcome to In Your Neighborhood. For the next half hour, we'll talk county issues and District A issues with your elected official, Commissioner Michael Naft. Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, Randy. Good to be back on with you.
Excellent. We're here at the Silverado Ranch Community Center in the heart of District A. District A is enormous, stretching from Spring Valley to Searchlight and beyond. Portions of Las Vegas Boulevard, the city of Henderson, and the rural Clark County communities of Jean, Prim, Cal-Navari are in the Southwest Commission District, which concludes at the Colorado River town of Laughlin. Here's a quick look in your neighborhood, District A. District A is one of the largest in Clark County, and this diverse district features some of the most recognizable world-class resorts, sporting and concert venues, cities and rural towns. Much of the south part of Las Vegas Boulevard is in District A, including the Strip's Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign, a Betty Willis-designed creation that has served as a popular place for visitors to take photos and selfies, and as a community meeting spot to pay tribute to noteworthy people, events, and causes. Just down the street is the home of the Las Vegas Raiders football team, Allegiant Stadium. Since opening in 2020, this striking silver and black dome has already welcomed an A-list of concert headliners and hosted hundreds of other special events and sporting contests. Some of the Valley's fastest growing commercial and residential activities are taking place in corridors along the Beltway and in neighborhoods such as Silverado Ranch and newly developed areas in Henderson. Of course, District A also boasts Silver State rugged rural areas all the way to the borders of Arizona and California, including Searchlight, Jean, and Cal-Navari. The town of Laughlin, Nevada sits at the southernmost point of Clark County and is home to several thousand residents and a couple million annual tourists who come to this expanding Colorado Riverside destination for food, fun, and adventure. From the bright neon lights to the desert beauty to some of the Valley's best neighborhoods, there's something for everyone all around District A. Commissioner, we're here at the Silverado Ranch Community Center nearing the first-year anniversary, and this is actually the fourth time we've done it in your neighborhood here, which is a record. And I know your expectations for this place were lofty, but have they been exceeded by what has happened in the first 12 months?
You know, what has been exceeded is just my appreciation for how the community has completely embraced this building. And what it has shown to me, and I think my colleagues on the commission, is just how critically important, how vital these centers are to making community, to building neighborhoods, to bringing people together. And the fact that that we can build something like this that is, frankly, you know, it was a shame that Enterprise, the entire township, didn't have a community center until this one was built. But now that we do, we have, I think, an extraordinary model for something that I'd like to recreate in other parts of my district as soon as funding allows for it, because I have seen what it's done to property value, to personality, to people who live in this area. It's really given them a sense of place. It's given the Silverado Ranch community, people who live here who feel like they haven't quite been able to enjoy the amenities that other parts of the valley have had for many years now. They've given that to them, and I just think that's an extraordinary thing. And what I'm really proud of is that the vision for this building was that it would be something for everybody. That's hard to do. Sometimes when you try to appeal to too many people, make too many people happy, you're making nobody happy. But the team here at the Silverado Ranch Community Center, I think, has done an extraordinary job offering programming to everybody who wants to participate. And that's demonstrated. We're here in the demonstration kitchen. My mom takes cooking classes in this room, and my daughter takes ballet classes in the room next door. That's the whole spectrum of our community, and I just think that's a wonderful thing.
It was a year ago when you had a major celebration. There were hundreds of people here to come and take this new place, and it still has a new community center smell to it. And I know you're excited about the first anniversary. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, we, you commented that this is the fourth time we've been on site here. The first time was when this was just sort of a dream, a vision. We came back when there was actually shovels in the ground, when the building was coming out from the ground. We came back once more before the building had opened to the public and started to offer the programming that it does today. And we're here 1 year later to mark the first anniversary of this community center. And what I want to do is actually what we've done in the past is to showcase and highlight what happens in this space every single day. Because for whether or not you come here like so many people do every single day to walk the track, or whether you come here, one Thursday a night for a particular program, or if you've never been to a community center in Clark County, this showcase is an opportunity to really demonstrate everything that happens here, the extraordinary work that our Parks and Recreation team and those who we work with provide, and the services they provide, and really, it's an opportunity. So often what the county does and what government does is help people when they're at their worst. This is an opportunity to be proactive in our community, to do good for whether it's kids coming here to summer camp or seniors doing knitting next door. It's an opportunity to be proactive and really demonstrate some of the positive aspects that Clark County and that government can do to serve the whole broader community.
A number of our community centers have kitchen facilities. They're more commissary style to serve meals and things like that. But this is one of one. I mean, this is a test kitchen. Just looking through the booklet, there's workshops for Mexican food, sushi food, Vietnamese, bread basics, and $15 you come in here. I'm sure you get fed, you learn something, and with the cameras and everything like that, it's like being on a cooking network show here.
Exactly. It's really fun, and it's something that there were several things that we wanted to do with this site that hadn't been done before. One was the demonstration kitchen and to program it, which as you just indicated, we are effectively. We've also, because of the style of this room, we can expand out, as you mentioned, to accommodate many more people than can sit at the bar here. Some of the other things that we wanted to do through the construction of this building was to provide an indoor space for people to walk around. I've talked to you about it many times. That came out of a conversation that we had with some seniors who walk the park that this community center sits on every single morning, but we're saying, boy, wouldn't it be nice when the weather's not right to have an indoor place. So this is the county's first indoor walking track. I would absolutely put that again in another facility that the county builds. I think that has been a really important tool to bring people into the building. For no cost, they have a cool indoor space to walk, to get some exercise, and to build some camaraderie. Those two things and several others that just hadn't been done before that I think are really important parts of what makes this place so special.
And as you said, someone just saw the shell of this building. Why the heck couldn't we put a walking track up there? I mean, it literally was that organic how that walking track began, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of reasons why not to do something. One was, well, if you put a elevated walking track, it's going to then be a two-story building. We're going to be required to have a elevator, meet ADA requirements. We've accomplished the walking track without taking up any real estate, but also by utilizing a ramp system, we're able to get people up there without having to go through what would have been cost prohibitive to put in the elevator and the infrastructure around a second-story building.
I know they do some different programs here. They have like a 100-mile club, so it really gets some buy-in from the community. Someone comes here and they log their miles and they get a t-shirt. It's a nice achievement for them to come out here and get some exercise every day.
One of the things that I think has just perhaps surprised me in some ways is just how important in 1 year's time this community center has become to people who live in the area, whether it's to meet those goals and fitness benchmarks, or whether it's just to get out of the house and meet people who might be in their community who they've never known before. I've had everyone from the children of elderly come and tell me that they believe that their mom or their dad is still alive because they have this place to recreate and to walk, and it gives them purpose and something to do. We've done programming for teenage boys well into the evening, 11 o'clock at night here in this in the basketball facilities that has given them purpose and a place to be when otherwise they might not. I just can't overemphasize the power of a Parks and Recreation facility and community and bringing people together in ways that even for me, somebody who has worked with Parks and Recreation for many years, someone who, I went to a Clark County summer camp at a community center. And even for me, until I've gotten to hear the personal stories from people who've benefited from this community center and other parks facilities, I didn't fully appreciate it.
Talking with Michelle here, she says they get about 5,000 people a month, and what surprised me is that you think of walking, people come in the morning. She says people are coming here all day long to use the walk track, and I know you're doing something here soon, Walk with Your Commissioner. I know you're very famous for chats with the commissioner, and you hold more structured forums where you're listening to your constituents, but you're going to be up there and walk with these folks.
That's right. I'm often here and am walking around anyways, and I thought, hey, why not put out the word that we're going to be here if people have something that's on their mind and want to join me for a stroll around the community center and have a good conversation about Clark County and our departments and services. We can double up and do it at the same time.
Tell me a little bit about how this is a true multi-generational community center.
Yeah, well, it's really with the programming. I wanted to make sure that every square foot of space in this building was well utilized, was functional. That's why nearly everything is both purposeful but also multi-purpose. And so, that studio next door that I mentioned where my daughter takes ballet class, they also do in that same space chair aerobics. And so really, another example, chair volleyball in the same space where the 3-year-olds learn how to play softball. Everything is multi-purpose here and for everybody.
And something else that is perhaps a future plan is they would like to build a community garden here where you could actually grow some vegetables, some fruits, some herbs and things like that, and have a true farm to kitchen situation meal.
Yep, and that would really be fulfilling what the hope and the vision was for this space, for the kitchen, was that you could have a class on gardening and growing your herbs and your vegetables, and then have a follow-up class on what to do with the things you grow in your garden.
Okay. Commissioner, I know another park that you're very proud of is the Echo Trail Park. You recently had your 3rd anniversary there. A different park, a different community in a different part of District A, but no less important to those constituents.
And that is an area where Silverado Ranch has been growing for some time now and is more established. The southwest area is growing so fast that oftentimes these communities have been left without much open space and park space. Echo Trail Park is a master plan 30-acre park. We've developed 5 so far, and I see it every day, but when we do that annual event there, the Family Fun Day that we do at Echo Trail, and get hundreds of people to come out and they each tell me how often and how important that park space is to them. It's just one more reminder of why these things matter.
And another park in your district is James Regional Park. I know you're very excited about 8 new softball diamonds that are coming out there, including a showcase one where championship games will be played, and that attracts a different type of crowd. It brings in perhaps out-of-town groups that they can have their whole tournament right there.
James Regional is truly a regional asset for all of Clark County. It's a tournament level facility. And as you said, the economics are significant too. That is really was a driver in the origination of James Regional. It was designed to be a place where tournaments can be played, where people can come from all over the region, not just Southern Nevada, but neighboring states to play very competitive athletics. People come here, they stay here, they participate in local businesses and patron businesses in the area. And then, of course, there is a lot of time there for league play for locals as well. So right now, that's primarily a soccer complex, but you're exactly right. Through SNPLMA, we're going to be expanding the ball fields. We're also expanding the track space there, so that we've created some tunnels in the area in partnership with RPM and Public Works that'll allow for more connectivity, so that people can actually we can have 5Ks there at James Regional without being interrupted by some of the arterials that go through that park.
All right, we must take a quick break. We'll continue in your neighborhood with District 8 Commissioner Michael Naft. Stay tuned.
The sizzle of summer can start early in southern Nevada. Anyone can be impacted by the heat if they're not prepared. Symptoms of heat illness include muscle cramps, heavy sweating, and nausea. To be heat smart, stay cool, stay indoors and in the shade. Never leave kids or pets alone in hot cars. Outdoors, wear a wide-brimmed hat and sunscreen. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, avoid caffeine, alcohol, and sugary drinks. And stay informed. Follow the local weather forecast to plan your day. Beat the heat, Southern Nevada.
District A is home to the Silverado Ranch Park and Community Center. This park is a neighborhood gem with miles of walking trails, a dog park, skateboard park, and areas for picnicking and leisure. The Silverado Ranch Community Center is a stunning jewel, boasting some one-of-a-kind features, including an indoor track and test kitchen, in addition to a gymnasium and workout facility. Classes and programs for nearly every type of activity are held in the state-of-the-art community center. The Silverado Ranch Park and Community Center is located at 9855 Gillespie Street, and that's where we are, talking District A and county issues with Commissioner Michael Naft. Commissioner, you and the Board of County Commissioners recently passed some regulations for animal protection. I know there's a few different components. Let's break them down a little bit. Let's talk about pet microchipping. What are the laws? And I know these all take place, will start in August, is that correct?
Right. So, and just to provide some context here, what we did is we opened up Title 10, which is the code in Clark County Code that primarily governs animal welfare issues. That's where most animal welfare issues are codified in Title 10. So this was really the first time that we had significant changes to Title 10 in a couple decades. We worked with all of my colleagues, but of course, when we opened it up, it was a wonderful opportunity for management and leadership in departments like Animal Protective Services and Code Enforcement to bring their ideas to the table. We also did some stakeholder engagement. We worked with a lot of the rescues, the shelters. We worked with people who are actually on the ground every single day responding to what is really a crisis for the animal welfare community, and did that in an effort to really achieve a couple goals. The main being, how do we reduce the number of animals that fall on the doorstep of the shelter? Microchipping, as you mentioned, which is now the law in Clark County, that is a really important part of how we can recover, get the animal recovered to the owner, to their family quickly. And so that is just an important tool that we need to make sure that, yes, people are taking the time to microchip their pet, but also that the veterinarians in our community are advocating for it and supporting it. And so working together to educate the community, I think, is part of it. But yes, it'll be required, as it is in the city, moving forward through the amendments to Title 10.
And I know illegal breeding, backyard breeding, puppy mills, horrendous situation, and that is something that obviously contributes to the overpopulation of pets in Clark County.
It does. It's been a couple years since we tackled the humane pet sale ordinance, which was prohibiting the retail sale of puppies in our community. That's something that has been effective in other places. Right now, the legislature is actually considering language, which I think is so important because, yes, Clark County is the largest jurisdiction in southern Nevada. We have more businesses and more people than any other jurisdiction, but this is one of those issues that is really best tackled at either the federal or if not the state level, because you just don't want this problem to go from jurisdiction to jurisdiction and hop around. And so we followed truly the North Las Vegas lead. Then we came, then Henderson put in, they're doing grandfathering, but there's a prohibition now, a moratorium on further licensing of these puppy stores that the only way they get their animals is from puppy mills. That's just the reality of it. There's no evidence that suggests anything other, and I spent a lot of time looking for it. That's just the fact. And so if you want to reduce the puppy mill pipeline, the best way to do it is to cut off the place where they're sold, and that's pet stores in this community. So we did a lot of work to help them transition out, businesses who wanted to take advantage of transitional services. They're certainly allowed to continue continue to operate as a business in a number of other ways, like grooming or retail pet product sales, but no longer is it allowed to sell puppies. Through Title X, we also made it a little bit more challenging for people to sell pets on places like sidewalks and streets and in parks and areas that you're just not safely and securely bringing a new animal into your home. There are lots of extraordinary animals at Nevada SPCA, at the Animal Foundation that are ready for both fostering and adopting. And I just strongly believe that when a family is considering expanding to their family, that those are two really important ways to do it. And not only because I believe that that is the humane thing to do, I think that's the best thing for the animal, I think it's the best thing for the family, but it's also financially looking out for taxpayer money. It's the county who's funding who's funding the Animal Foundation in partnership with the city of Las Vegas. It's the county that subsidizes other programs. It's the county that funds animal control officers through animal protection services. And so not only is it just the right thing to do, but it's the fiscally responsible thing to do.
Another component is the boarders and groomers, people that are in the industry. You are actually going to provide, Clark County is going to provide free training just to give those people an assist and keep them in compliance and give them a hand. Yeah,
these individuals are our eyes and ears out there. They're people who interact with animals on a daily basis, and it's really important that they know what the best practices are. And so we're going to internally offer those programs. The first year they'll be available in person and open to everybody who's working in that space, and it's up to the licensee to make sure that their staff goes ahead and takes advantage of that educational opportunity. But that's absolutely an important element of, and one of the more important elements that we amended in Title X.
Many of those folks in boarders or groomers are small business owners, and I know you're excited about taking care of some small business owners and entrepreneurs in Laughlin.
Well, and I was just going to say, and that's why we're offering that free of service. We don't want to negatively impact a business owner who's struggling as is, but we do want to make sure that the people working there have the best opportunity to serve the community.
And I know in Laughlin, you are excited about the small businesses and entrepreneurs down there having a grant program there where up to $25,000 some individual business owners can apply for to help stimulate that economy a little bit there.
That's right. We've taken advantage of some economic development dollars that were allocated several years ago and created a program that will help locally owned independent businesses to make enhancements. And this could be everything from someone who's just trying to start out, but they don't have the capital to put into tenant improvements to bring a space either up to code or up to the standard that they might want it to be. And it may also apply to somebody who is a current operating locally owned independent business who knows that if they only had an improved facade, if they only had better signage, that they could do that much better and they could succeed. So this is a great way to stimulate, as you said, the economies in District A. Businesses in Laughlin, it's being run through the Laughlin Chamber of Commerce, who we've partnered with to allocate these funds. But if you're interested, you can contact them, but it's not exclusive to Laughlin. It's open to any businesses in District A that want to participate can take advantage of this, what I think will be a really helpful grant opportunity to give them a little bit of a leg up, particularly as times can be very difficult for smaller independent businesses.
Let's shift gears a little bit, Commissioner. I know pedestrian and traffic safety have been something that you have been on the forefront ever since you've taken office, and something as simple as that adding crossing guards at middle schools is something that has been going on for the last year or so, something you're very proud of and very tangible, positive results.
Well, sadly, it's rare that in the traffic safety space we get to talk about good news. But this is one of those times where we have some, I think, statistically relevant data that really points to some positive trends that we're seeing when it comes to kids' safety in front of, particularly in front of middle schools. As you mentioned, Clark County was the first jurisdiction to expand our crossing guard program. And I want to give credit to a lot of advocates who've frankly been working for a decade's time to to see this happen. There's been a tremendous amount of research and data collection done, best practices reviewed, that led us to the point where I was absolutely convinced that the investment in an expanded crossing guard program was well worth the allocation of funds. And so what we did was just that. We expanded our currently existing elementary crossing guard program to include middle schools. So you now have between 2 and 4 crossing guards at every unincorporated Clark County middle school. And really quickly after that, we saw my friends at the City of Henderson follow our lead on it. City of North Las Vegas partook in the program. And the City of Las Vegas I'm working with to demonstrate to them the data and make sure that they understand just how valuable it could be to their jurisdiction as well. And in unincorporated Clark County, at the middle schools in our jurisdiction, we've seen a 63% reduction in kids hit by cars in front of their school. That's huge. To see that kind of change with one policy maneuver, I think is just an extraordinary thing and points to the value and the success of the program. We also, some of the concerns around expanding the crossing guard program were labor. Would we be able to recruit crossing guards? You've covered it many times. At the beginning of the year, we're always putting out call because we're always short of crossing guards. That's just the way it is. We've not seen that. We've been able to recruit crossing guards to this program. Some of them even prefer to be at a middle school. It's been, people have really taken up the call to serve their community in that way. And we have absolutely seen just the effectiveness of having extra eyes, ears, hands on our roads to help people, particularly, you think about the transition from elementary school to middle school. That is probably not the best time to go ahead and lose any kind of supervision. It's a time when some parents might take a step back and let the kid go on their own to middle school where they didn't do that at elementary school. And having those extra supervisors out there to make sure that kids are also, while they're getting to school safely, they're also being educated on the rules of the road. It's been a real success, and I just encourage our fellow jurisdictions to continue to follow suit and to track the data because I want to make sure that this continues to be successful for Clark County.
We just have another minute or so left. What else are you excited about, Commissioner? What's going on all around A that you want your constituents to know about?
There's a lot of really exciting things happening. Something that I've been working awfully hard on is the partnership with Intermountain West and the first standalone pediatric hospital that we stand to gain over at the UNLV Harry Reid Research Park in District A. If we can get that done, and I believe we're pretty close, that will be transformational for this community. Not only will it allow parents who far too often have to head to the airport to get treatment for their seriously ill children, an opportunity to stay here in their community, but it will also create an opportunity for us to recruit physicians, medical professionals, healthcare professionals to come to the Valley. And that's an area that we have struggled with for far too long. So the investment from Intermountain is very real. The site selection is moving along aggressively, and I'm really optimistic that we'll be able to move forward and have that truly life-changing facility open right here in Southern Nevada soon.
All right, well, it's always a pleasure to you, and we're actually fired up because I know you're going to make Naft's famous French toast for us here next, right?
I'm not sure anybody wants that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here, Commissioner. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
That wraps up this edition of In Your Neighborhood. Thanks to Commissioner Michael Naft for taking time to tell us about the area he calls home and represents as your elected official, District A. If you have any questions about this show or ideas for upcoming segments, call me at 455-6357 or send an email to rsw@ClarkCountyNV.gov. On behalf of all of us here at Clark County Television, I'm Randy Swallow. We'll see you again next time in your neighborhood.